Hello. Hi, Rachel. Hi. Hello. My chat's messed up. Hold on. There we go. Okay. You did get a notification. That's good. I was wondering if it didn't notify people today. Okay, now people are joining in. Hello, everyone. All right. Hi, Erin. Things with the house are good. Thanks for asking. We've been working on the kitchen a lot, so that's coming along. And let's see, what's next? We have to finish lime washing the brick. Yes, diary day. It's actually the last month of this diary, which I can't believe. Let's see, what else are we doing with the house? We're going to put down like this sticky countertop stuff today, which normally I would not do, but the counters that we have are kind of old and gross, and we don't really feel like totally refinishing it yet, so we're going to do that later. We'll let you know how it goes. It might be a disaster, but we figure it's better than what we have now, so it'll hold us over. Today we had to go to AAA to figure out Ian's cars, because moving from a different state is a big headache, so that's another not fun part about moving, but it's all good. So I am planning my trip to New York, to Brooklyn and Long Island now, which is stressing me out a little bit, but in a good way. I have a presentation. I don't know if all of you saw the video, but I'm having a presentation at the Rock Hall Museum, which is where the woman who wrote the first diary that I read through and shared with you all, that was her summer home. So now it's a museum, and I'll be going there to give a presentation. I'm very excited, but a little nervous. And I figured I'd show that information first. If any of you guys are in Long Island, there are still spots available for that, but I'm also going to do a live stream. So that's official. Last week I had said I was trying to figure out how to do a live stream. I was toying with the idea of not doing a TikTok live, maybe like doing a YouTube or something a little bit more like private, but I'm figuring just TikTok is easier. So I did create an event, a live event on my page where you can register for that. So just like the normal lives every week, if you want to watch the presentation live, it's next Thursday at 7 p.m. And you can go to my page, and right now on the TikTok, like on my TikTok page, it still has today's live event. But if you just click on that, it'll give you both options. So you can sign up for the presentation. I'm also going to record it, but a lot of people were asking about a live stream. And, I was hoping that people would be able to come, a lot of people would be able to come in person, but I think it's more of we're all so spread out that there are going to be more people who would rather have a live stream, so we're going to do it. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me and everything when we're there, because I'm not really sure what the setup will be, but we'll try. Yes, and I'll take lots of videos and photos, Rachel, while I'm there. I have some plans. We're going to go on a little walking tour of the historic Brooklyn Heights, which is where Anglesey lived during the school months. And then we'll obviously go to Rock Hall again, get another tour, work with the director there. She's awesome. And then we're also going to go to a couple of restaurants that she mentioned in the diary. So I have a couple of places that I've been waiting to go visit that Anglesey visited. So I'll definitely take videos when we go there. And then, of course, a couple of other fun non-diary related things too. Ian wants to go to a couple of jazz clubs, so that should be fun. Yeah, I know. So Nikki said, would be nice to come to Brooklyn, a little too far for Europeans. Yes, for you Europeans. Yeah, I think it's far for most people because we're all so spread out. But there are a couple of followers who are coming, and then a couple of people from the museum. And I wish it was a more central location. It's kind of far for me too, but so that's why we're making like a trip out of it. We're making a week-long trip. We are also going to visit the Center for Brooklyn History and do some research while we're there. Just a little bit of research. So yeah, today, actually I have a couple more things to share with you guys before I get going with the diary. So I was going to say today is the last month of the 1944 diary, but we still have the 1947 one after this. And the other piece of news that I have is that I've been in contact with Todd Delaney's great-grandson, Jim. And I've been talking about that for a while, but recently we've been like emailing back and forth, and he did agree to do a video chat, I think. So I'm going to probably set up like a video interview with him, and hopefully he'll let me record that and share it with you guys. I think that would be really fun. So I asked him about a video call. Now I have to ask him if I can record it, but hopefully we'd be able to. Obviously, if not, I'll still like interview him and share and all that, but that would be really cool if we could have like a little bonus video. I'd put that on YouTube. So yeah. And then the one last little thing. This is not new news, but I've been holding on to, we got interviewed by the Cedar Rapids Gazette, and I had the newspaper, well, I ordered the physical copy of the newspaper to my house. Of course, it's like reflecting and you can't see anything, but I framed it and it looks really good. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. You can hardly even see it, but it looks good, and we'll hang it in the house somewhere. Exciting. All right. Hello, Seasomnia. Okay. So, I'm looking at, no, I have this here. I need to pull up this here. Yeah, I know. I think it'll be great doing the video call. Like, we'll have to do Google Meet or something. Hopefully we can get that. Hopefully he's done that before. I am not the best with like hosting a Google Meet either, so we'll see. But I think that would be cool because it would be so much. Velvet asked, was his great-grandson able to answer about Edna's cabin thing? I haven't asked him that yet, so I'm going to have a video interview with him soon. That's what he agreed to do, a video interview. So I think with the video, it'll be much easier compared to the phone to like pull up pictures and ask specific questions and show him the diary and things like that. I think it would be at least easier for me to kind of explain. Sometimes it's tough to, I don't know, with the phone. Can't wait to hear if he has anything to say about the photo in front of the hotel. Yes. And then when I say to show photos, that's what I mean. Because I want to pull that photo up and get his opinion on it. Like real time. Because I did send an email with tons of questions and tons of information and pictures. And it's hard to follow when you send like 50 different things. So I don't even know if he really took a good look at it. So it'll be good to ask that and then have his response recorded, either just for me or, you know, if he allows me to share it, that would be great too. But that way we remember everything and we can share it. All right. So we're going to finish December today. And then we're taking a little break. So not really a break because I do have a live stream next week, but it's going to be the presentation at the museum. So we're going to finish December. It couldn't have actually worked out any better really with the timing here because we have the last month of 1944 to read today. Then we'll have the presentation at Rock Hall next Thursday at 7 p.m. And then the week after that, I'll pick up again with the Weatherman diary stuff. And we'll start with the 1947 diary, or maybe we'll do like a Q&A or something instead, since I'll be like, my mind will be on Anglesey and all that stuff. So we'll just play it by ear. I do always announce any of those changes and times and stuff in the Discord. There's a free Discord that you can join. It's on my link tree on my TikTok page. And that's probably the most consistent place to get notifications. You can sign up for notifications from TikTok, but it's kind of like hit or miss. Sometimes it shows you, sometimes it doesn't. So if you join the Discord, you'll definitely get those updates. So yeah, here we go. Let me get my keyboard ready. And this is always bittersweet. This is the second diary we have of Todd's out of 3. And in the Diary Detectives group, which is the Patreon subscriber group, recently there have been some huge developments in the diaries that they bring. Emily got tons of diaries belonging to one woman, Lillian, that we've been talking about a little bit before, so I'm very excited for her and a little bit jealous. All right. So December 1st. Oops. There we go. Just trying to check my setup. Oh, how far we've come from the first diary. I know. It's pretty wild. We started off the first diary not even knowing who the writer was. And it only took a couple of readings. What is going on here? It only took a couple of readings to learn who the diary writer was. But what we've learned since then is incredible. Like how much more we've learned about him. I'm just trying to figure out here, hold on, how to get rid of this little line between the pages. There we go. Okay. Hi, Allie. Oh, sorry, I don't know why the format today is getting all kinds of messed up. Okay, so Friday, December 1st, the coldest day of the winter so far. Temp this AM 4 above 0. Hi, everybody. Okay, I feel like I'm going to repeat this a lot today because this is important and people keep coming in, and leaving and coming in. The presentation that I'm doing at Rock Hall next week, I am going to be live streaming, and there's an event on my page for that you can register for. So it's free. You can just register so that you get a notification. I'm just going to keep saying that. Sorry, everybody, for repeating myself, but a lot of people were asking last time, and I didn't have a real answer for you, so now that I have an answer, I'm going to keep saying it. All right. And it would also help me feel a lot better if you guys did register, because it is a small museum. There aren't many spots to begin with, but I think because we're all so spread out, like all of my followers are everywhere, and the diary detectives are everywhere, there's not many people from the Long Island area, so there aren't that many people signed up to go. There are quite a few, and there's a couple who are actually followers. I'm so grateful that I will get to meet those people in person, but it would make me feel better if there were people registered for the live event too, because then I'll feel like people actually are gonna see it, you know. Is that the one about, yes, it's about the other diary. It's about the 1917 one. So that is what originally, that 1917 diary is what started this whole hobby for me. It was before the Weatherman, before I even had these. I had picked it up at an estate sale and started researching her life, and she has a pretty full, interesting life. She was a Brooklyn socialite. She was from a very wealthy family and kind of I'm trying to think of what the word would be. Her family was very active, and the children were wild, and they went out and they did crazy things, and it was a great read. Do you know anything about the diary to watch? Do you have to know anything about the diary to watch the presentation? No. I'm going to start basically from the beginning in the presentation. It'll be a great opportunity to tell kind of the story of the diary and how I found it and how I research it and what I've learned from it in a long form, because TikTok is so quick. Everything's quick, and it's hard to capture the whole picture. So I'm thinking of this presentation as the first time that I actually get to explain how this came about from start to finish. It'll be on TikTok, the live stream, so I have the link to register for it, just where you normally register for the Weatherman diary stuff. That's where that is. I was originally going to do it on a different website, but it's just easier to do TikTok. I didn't spend enough time trying to figure it out first. What? Oh. Thought that Ian was knocking. Yeah, so you don't have to know anything about that diary. You can definitely go to my page and watch a few videos if you want to kind of get to know Anglesey a little bit, but I'm going to approach it as I'm giving this presentation to someone who hasn't kept up with it. Brenda, that's okay. You're not that late. We've just been chatting, and we did one entry, half of an entry. I think a lot of the people who are attending don't follow me. I think that they're just people who are in with the museum, and the museum is having an exhibition on Anglesey's father, James Monroe Hewlett, and that's why they asked me to come. because normally the museum is very centered on the families that came before Anglesey's family. And then, so there were a couple of families really early on that owned that house, and then Anglesey's family owned it. And then after that, it became the museum. So I feel like the Hewlett family kind of gets lost in that story because they were the last owners, the most recent. And the museum director felt like that a little bit too. So that's why she's having the exhibition on James Monroe, Anglesey's father. And she thought it would be a great pairing to have a presentation on Anglesey. And I agree. Oh, you thought they were just interested in the idea of someone transcribing an old diary. Well, that and the diary directly relates to the history of the museum. So that's like the really special part. And I did visit there last summer. I went for a long weekend and it was awesome. It was so cool to get to go to the place where, like, literally Anglesey writes about being there through the summer in the diary. And she goes there and her sister gets married there and she gets married there. And it's just like there's so much history in that place. And it's awesome that not only is it still standing, but it's a museum and it's accessible. And it's not just someone's house that I can't go into. Like it was really surreal. And it will be again. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's true. It could have been lost if someone else bought it. It was also the way it was positioned. I'm convinced it would have probably been tossed out because it was the way the diary was like laying in a pile of books. And I think that the reason it wasn't kept with the rest of Anglesey's things was because the cover had fallen off. And hold on, I'm getting very distracted because I hear a lot of noises. The cover had fallen off, so it wasn't really clear what it was. And it was in the basement of the estate sale with a bunch of other books, like other random books, not like family history things or things like that. I just my mom actually saw it and picked it up. So I think it probably, what I was getting at there is I think it probably would have, after the estate sale, there were so many books. Like I think all of the books probably would have just been donated or thrown away. So I'm glad that we kind of saved it. But then at the same time, I'm like, oh, I really wish I looked harder because what if there were more? What if there was a whole stack of them there? But I can't waste time thinking about that because it'll just make me upset. Yeah, it is. And I do thank my mom for picking it up. Of course, even then, like I was like, oh, this is really cool. The handwriting is nice. It's a diary. It's kind of weird that I'm buying someone's diary, but I'm going to go up and see if I can buy it. And I didn't realize how old it was or how special it was. So it really just I got very lucky, and it kind of like, it did change my life. It sounds corny, but it unlocked this whole passion in me. All right, so let's keep going with the Weatherman diary. Another really lucky find, because, you know, you buy these diaries on eBay. They could be just boring day to day, but we've really, really found a story in these, and I feel very lucky to be able to share it with you guys too. So, okay, so temp this AM 4 above 0. Not as windy as yesterday, though. Okay. And I remember in the beginning, the other handwriting in the first diary, it was so much harder to read. Everything took so much longer, but we really have like plowed through them. I wonder what the other people who bought the other Weatherman journals did with them. I know, me too. And I wish I could connect with them because we could collaborate. But I don't know. I don't know if other people do. Obviously, they're not. Well, maybe they are doing something like this and we just haven't like seen it yet. But it would be so cool if someone did have one and saw the live or something. I dread to think some people do junk journals. Oh, you mean like they rip it up and change it and stuff? I didn't know people did that with actual other people's journals. I hope that's not the fate of them. We do know that they were sold, though. Anglesey's, we don't know. We don't know if they were sold. We don't know if they're in someone's attic. We don't have like an answer to that question. It's just like a question mark. The Weatherman, we know that there were like maybe up to 10 more. I can't remember exactly how many there were, but I remember that eBay seller had like every year for a long stretch. And I tried to get more, but they were all like separate bidding items. So, all right, real cold yet today. I missed yet. Thank you. Temp 4 above this AM. Edna went to CR with Crawls this afternoon. Came out with Nellie in the car. Sorry if you hear a lot of noise today. My dad is here helping us put the beadboard in our living room. So he has like an air compressor with a nail gun. Sometimes it gets really loud. Intrigued to hear the 1947 Diaries and how everyone's doing 2 years removed from Todd's death. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting, like, it would be great if we had 1945 because that'd be right after this one. But it's almost, I kind of like that we have this huge event where, you know, it's really sad. Their family life has changed so much because when Todd passes away. And then it's like a look into the future, just a couple years later, how everything is going. So that's really cold for this southern, oh, I almost lost the comment. Southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Oh, okay. Yeah, they did say on December 1st it was the coldest day of winter so far. There's going to be a lot of noise, I can already tell. Yeah, like checking back in with an old friend. Oh, God. In her car, thank you. Okay, so we do have pictures of Edna and Nellie. Actually, front page, there's Edna, but I'll scroll down and find Nellie too. Nellie. Let me zoom in. And we know that Crawl is a man who works with Edna at the bank. I think he was the bank owner at the time. We found some juicy information about him. All right, you don't mind a bit of background noise? Okay. I mean, with this mic, you shouldn't be able to hear it, but I don't think I have it set up exactly right. Hi. What are you lurking?
I need some orange juice.
Oh, thanks. There's a lot of noise already. Oh, they say hi, Ian. No, that's not my dad. This is Ian. I said my dad was making a lot of noise. This is Ian. My dad's upstairs.
Looking for your keys.
They're in my where I was doing my class.
Okay.
I was making prints of the keys. But it's in there somewhere.
Okay.
I can tile it if you need it.
No, it's alright, I'll find it.
He probably has to get into the garage. Okay. Cold and windy and rained some. Edna hauled all the old wood up from behind the barn. Have they mentioned the barn before? Maybe once or twice. They mentioned a trailer. I remember that, and I was like, what the heck? Oh, hi, Micah. So, everyone who just came in, I was telling everyone that I have a new live event that you can register for, and it's the Anglesey Rock Hall presentation next Thursday. So, if you want to see that presentation as a live stream, you can register on my page. It's at 7 p.m. And also, it's going to be a little loud because they're working up there and dragging things across the floor. Hi, Cheryl. Okay, so Edna hauled all the old wood up from behind the barn and racked it up at the back porch. Is she going to burn it, do you think? Usually there's a bonfire after they get all that stuff hauled out. Nellie came out after supper and stayed all night. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, there's so much noise. Can you guys hear that? The speech is going all right. I'm someone who, I'm not like, I guess I'm a procrastinator, but it'll all be, like, I'll sit down tomorrow. Tomorrow is when I'm planning on really, like, sitting down and just writing the whole thing, pretty much. And yes, we do have Todd's obituary. And we have his death certificate, too. You can hear it slightly. I like wish I knew which way to turn the knob on this microphone, but I don't, and I don't want to make it worse. So what was I doing? Looking for Todd's obituary. Hold on. Right here. So this is actually how we learned more about his family, and we learned that he worked for the railroad by reading this obituary. I know, it's a shame there's no photo. We really, God, Todd is like so elusive. We have a picture of his daughter, and we have a picture of his in-laws, and even a picture of his father. This is Todd's father, also Thomas. And I believe he's in this picture somewhere, but we don't know who he is. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting and waiting for a picture. Hopefully we'll be able to find one. Okay, here's Monday, December 4th. It rained and sleeted about all day. So Jim doesn't think he has any. He's not sure though. He's looking and he's going to let me know. So he said he's not very good with organization. And he also is really into family history, and he did like his genealogy and tried to, but he hit a dead end. So I think that it's going to be a little bit more. I was really hoping that he would just have one and share it with me, but I think we're going to have to work a little bit harder than that. Did the town or area have a history book? That's where you find your great-grandparents. That's cool. They have a couple of newspapers that I was able to look through. I don't know if they have a history book. Oh, they did, actually. There was one for Cedar Rapids, and there were lots of pictures in there. There were lots of pictures in there, but I didn't see any of Todd. Okay, if you guys can you hear the background noise right now? No, now there's none. I'm going to play with the microphone a little bit. But I don't know if it's going to make it worse or you can't hear it. I'm going to put it back where it was and ask Ian what I should do next time he lurks around. Okay, it rained and sleeted about all day. Oops. I know it's okay. It's distracting to me. Very disagreeable day. Temp 30 degrees. This AM. Okay. Wonder if it was the first time for him seeing pictures of Edna and Nellie, etc. Maybe. He did actually know Edna well, and he knew Nellie, so I don't know if he had seen that picture of the bank before. I don't think I showed him that either. I'll have to show him that when we have our video chat. I didn't want to send him too much on the email. There was a lot there. So I'll show him that picture. But yeah, he knew both of them. It should be the gain. Yes, it is the gain. I know that. Thank you. It's just this microphone doesn't have like any indication of if I'm turning it higher or lower. Like I don't know if I need to turn it up or down, and I don't know which way would be which one. So but it is the gain. Okay. And if I was like playing a video game or something and there were just people on the other end that I could say, is this better, but it's hard because the noise is not constant. Rained and melted the snow a lot today. Very, does that say sloppy? I thought maybe slippery, but I think it says sloppy. Okay. Edna went to CR this afternoon to get Mr. Crawl. Nellie came before supper and stayed all night. Edna shoveled a little. Snow from sidewalk. Does the hotel have any historical documents? Has anyone visited it yet? A couple of people did visit, and they got some information about the history of the hotel, but they didn't really share that they had any historical documents or anything. They did have some pictures on the wall that we have pictures of, but we don't really know who's in them. Cool pictures, though, like old pictures of Fairfax. I think I have them in here somewhere. Maybe I just sent them to the diary group. I'd have to find them, but they were old pictures of the town of Fairfax, and a couple of old families, like, posing for a portrait, but I don't know who they were. They really could have been, they could be Todd's relatives or Edna's relatives, because her relatives did own that hotel, but it did change hands a few times. Apparently it's haunted, and apparently Lloyd, who is Todd's son, Todd wrote the diary, Lloyd is his son. Apparently, Lloyd was born in that hotel, according to legend. So, that's an interesting tidbit of information that we learned. That was from someone, or that was actually from Jim. Jim told us that he was born there. Off topic, but you should do a gaming live stream someday. Yeah, that would be pretty random. I haven't played video games in a long time because we've been so busy with the house, but I used to play so much Sims. Because I really like to, now I'm doing it in real life, but I like to decorate, I like to build, so I liked playing The Sims, and I play Minecraft, which I never thought I would like Minecraft, but Ian was like, no, you'll like it, and I thought it was stupid, because it's just a bunch of cubes, No, it's great. Minecraft is great. We used to play it so much, especially during COVID. We didn't live together, obviously, then. We had just graduated college at that time, or we were graduating college when the lockdown happened, so we couldn't see each other for like 3 months, so that's all we did. We played Minecraft. Stardew Valley, yes. I haven't played Stardew Valley, but I've been told I would like that because I love Animal Crossing too. I used to play Animal Crossing on the DS. I like all those kinds of games, like the low-key games. I'm not really into, like Ian will go on and play Halo and stuff with his friends. I'm not into that kind of stuff. That stresses me out. I, actually get stressed playing those games, so. Yeah, I haven't tried Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a side-scroller game, right? I'm pretty impressed that I even know what that is. But, again, I'm like, I don't think I'd like that. But I said the same thing about Minecraft. And I loved Minecraft. No, I didn't play Plants vs. Zombies. I didn't play much on the phone. You've missed so many lives. You're so far behind. Yes, I have them uploaded and I'm caught up to YouTube. Side-scroller is like the kind of game where it's like a 2D game, kind of. I don't know if it is a side-scroller game. Like, it's not 3D. It's like you can only, I don't know. Like, Terraria is a side-scroller game. Maybe that's the one I'm getting it confused with. Whatever, I don't know. It's asymmetrical. Okay, now that's too complicated. I don't know what that is. I guess I just have to try it. A raw day and it is 2D, but it's a farming sim and it's pretty cute. Okay. That's what I heard. I like the farming stuff. And my friend Meg said I would like it, so she knows me well enough that I think I should just try it. A raw day and very cloudy. I didn't like Terraria, though. Someone told me I would like that, and I tried it, and I didn't like it. I'd recommend Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. Oh my god, Friends of Mineral Town. That sounds adorable. Do you get to dig for stuff? I don't have a Switch, though, is the problem. I think we need to get one. I had a DS growing up, and that's what I played Animal Crossing on, but I really, really wanted to play the Animal Crossing for the Switch when it came out, and I held off. I didn't buy it. I should have. A raw day and very cloudy. Quite a little snow on the ground. I did not feel very good today. I did not feel good today. It's like Animal Crossing, just less 3D. See, I think what I like about Animal Crossing is that it's 3D and you run around the town, and I definitely need a Switch. I know. Don't tell me that, because again, the other day, I had the same conversation with my friend Michaela, who was here at the last live. She was on the couch. Actually, that day, she brought her Switch because she just got it, and she was showing me Animal Crossing, and I was like, oh, I want it now. But the reason why I didn't buy the Switch is because I basically only wanted it for Animal Crossing. So I was like, you can't justify buying an entire console. I know it's like a handheld thing, but it's pretty expensive just for one game. But I don't know. You got stuck at the end of Hamtaro Ham Heartbreak. Oh, you know the other game that I played? I played through My Time at Portia, which was glitchy at first because it was like just coming out, but it was really good. That was like Animal Crossing, but there was a lot more to do in the town. That one was fun. And I've started playing the second game in that series, but I haven't I haven't played video games in a long time because we've been so busy here. There's plenty of free $1 games on the Switch. Okay. You're selling it to me. I have no money right now. Maybe for Christmas. And I like how the Switch is like 2 people can play at once, right? You can hook it up to the TV. Okay, a raw day and very cloudy, quite a little snow on the ground. I did not feel good today. Edna worked late this evening. My birthday's in March, so I'd have to wait a while. I'm sure that you can, but if I had a Switch and I wanted to, there's the air compressor. It'll just be a minute, and then it'll shut off. My half birthday is coming. Oh, thanks. I'll tell Ian. If I wanted to visit Michaela's town on like her Animal Crossing, you can do that, right? Like you could do that even on the DS, so I'm sure you can. Like I could go to her town and play with her. Hopefully you can actually hear me through the noise. Cloudy in the forenoon, but it cleared up. You can catch a plane to her town. Of course, a plane. That's awesome. I remember in the DS version, you just go into that little cave room. The brother hamster gives you the directions when you walk in. Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay. That's funny. We come on here and we read an old diary and talk about history, but then we're having a side chat about video games. I love it. It would be cool to do more of a like chill live where I'm not basically doing work. Forgot this isn't Discord. That's okay. Do whatever you want in the chat. It's fun. I enjoy this so much more when there's like conversation going on. It's hard when I'm just talking to myself, so it is fine. Imagine Todd. Yeah, imagine showing Todd the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, what he would think about video games. That is funny. All right, cloudy in the forenoon, but it cleared up and the sun shone bright in the PM. Wow, that's taking a long time to shut off. Okay. There's a bug. Edna and Nellie went to to a supper at Trinity Church. I could not go as I did not feel good. So, lots of you have been following along, so you kind of know the backstory of this, but I, in the diary, is now Todd's wife, Edna. Originally, the diaries were written by Todd, but he has since had medical issues, and she started writing for him, and then he passed away, so now it's just Edna. I don't even think Todd had a television, never mind showing him a Tesla. I know, that is kind of crazy. They had a telephone, definitely, but they didn't mention television at all. I think they mentioned listening to news on the radio. Totally butchered that. When does the wife Edna pass away? Good question. 1973. And then their daughter Edna lived on that property that the diary is taking place on until her death in 1998. Yes, she is. I don't think she ever remarried. I didn't find anything that suggested that. Okay, well, someone is scraping up there. Why don't you tell me, is this better or worse? They're scraping. I guess you'd also be able to hear the The keyboard more if it was worse. You don't hear, can you hear the keyboard though? ASMR stream, I know. When I was first streaming, like just on my phone, you can hear the keyboard. Okay, can you hear the keyboard more than you could before? Hold on, I'll get to these questions. These are good questions. I'll get to them in a second. The keyboard is now more important. Let me just like type. You don't remember. Okay. You like the keyboard. Oh, I was saying when I first started the lives, I didn't have a microphone or anything. I was just on my phone. And one of the most surprising things that came out of that was people commented on, oh, what kind of keyboard are you using? They really liked it. So maybe I do need to turn up the keyboard volume, because that may have been why people joined, because the first few lives that we had were like insane, like 18,000 people watching, not at once, like 18,000 viewers at one of them, and I was like, what is going on? I bet it wasn't about the diary or about me. I bet it was the keyboard. So yeah, mechanical keyboards are, but this isn't a mechanical keyboard. This is just like a cheap one. Ian has a mechanical keyboard right there, and I could plug it in, but I don't really like the feel of it. Okay, anyone still alive that's in the diary? I guess they would be super old now. I don't think so. I haven't come across, especially any family members that are still alive, but Todd's grandson, Roger, who is in the diary, is Jim's father. So Jim, Todd's great-grandson, who I'm talking to right now, like emailing with, and I'm going to interview him soon, his dad is in the diary. I have a very soothing voice. Oh, thank you. I always hated my voice on recordings, but I've gotten used to it now. Okay, let me go back. Did Nellie ever move in with Edna? We don't know. I don't think so. Like, we don't have any evidence of that, but that could have been something that just wasn't documented. Okay. You haven't seen me in a while? Yeah, I don't know. TikTok's weird. We actually have 41 people on here right now, so it seems like it is showing. Well, as soon as I turn the keyboard volume up, yeah, so we know what people want. Okay, we'll keep going. This will be like an experiment then. I should ask Jim. What should I ask him? I lost my train of thought. Maybe time for a reminder about next week. Oh yeah, so next week I have a presentation at the Rock Hall Museum, which is a museum that was the diary writer. Hold on, let me start over. I started this whole hobby reading a 1917 diary that was written by a woman named Anglesey, and her family's summer home is now a museum. I'm going there to give a presentation about her life and the diary and all that stuff. So if you want to register for the event, it's on my page. People have been asking about a live stream of that, so that's where that will be. Yes, it was confirmed that Nellie and Edna were together. It was as confirmed as it could be. Jim said that it was a very real possibility, and the way he said it, like, to me meant yes, they were together. And I don't know, I mean, it seems that they basically lived together even during the diary, because Nellie, it says almost every single day, Nellie stayed the night, Nellie stayed the night, Nellie was here all night. Like, I think that they did basically live together, but it just wasn't documented. Nellie did live with her sister, who also never married, and they lived in a duplex. They were on one side, and their brother and his family were on the other side. So it's interesting that neither Kruger sister, that's funny, we used to know Nellie as Miss Kruger, we didn't know who they were, but neither Kruger sister married ever or had children. You were so brave to ask him that. To be honest, I would have been worried about bringing it up. No, I totally was worried, because you just never know. And it's not even like you don't know how this person feels about that, because that's part of it. Like, I don't want to offend anybody or like bring up something that might, I don't know, stir something up. But also, we're like reading someone's diary that it's just such a weird situation in general to even talk to that person about it. Like, I'm reading this intimate thing about his family, and then to make those assumptions, and I just didn't want it to sound, I wanted to like really make it clear that I was trying to be as respectful as possible. And you don't know how people will react, and they don't know your intentions either. Like, he doesn't know that I'm doing this with I don't know. without any like intent to sensationalize stuff or anything, but it all worked out fine. Because I kept kind of like beating around the bush a little bit because I wanted, if it was going to come up, I wanted him to bring it up because I didn't want to push, you know? And then I finally just did ask, and I made sure I said, like, please let me know. I don't want to offend you. Like, if this isn't something you want to talk about, like, let me know. And then he said, oh, no, yeah, that's a real possibility. Like, they were basically together. Did he reach out to you after the newspaper article? Yes. So the newspaper article came out, and then actually before the newspaper article came out, Grace King, the reporter, she called me and said, I just got off the phone with Jim Delaney. And then, so they interviewed me, and then they did their own digging, and because they're a newspaper, they were able to get into contact with him, and he, like, answered. I had sent a message on Ancestry and I think Facebook, and it didn't go through because, like, Facebook doesn't actually send your message all the way through if you're not friends with someone. So they really, it was awesome that they were able to contact him and get us, like, set up together. So, yeah. So anyways, they had, like, interviewed me. They were writing the article. They were going to publish it. Then they got into contact with Jim, and they said, oh, let's hold on the article because we have more, like, information to interview and add. So they interviewed him. They added the information. They called me, and they gave me his contact info, and then I called him. So we've only talked on the phone once for, like, a half an hour. It was a great conversation, but I'm setting up something else with him soon. Like, we're going to do a Zoom interview. Jim is Roger's son. So, yeah, Roger's son. So he is Todd's great-grandson. So Todd has Lloyd, his son. Lloyd has Norman, David, and Roger. Exactly, yep. Roger was Lloyd's son. It's, like, so confusing. And Lloyd was Todd's son. And Todd was Thomas's son. All right. A chilly day. Edna went to CR in the afternoon. Hi. With Crawls. What is it?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you had a letter.
No.
And came out here. What's going on up there?
I don't know.
Speedboard stuff?
Yeah.
Every once in a while it's really loud.
Nail gun charging.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we do have a picture of Lloyd. Can you shut the door? We have a picture of Lloyd, but it's like an older picture. But I can show it to you, definitely. And again, we have that old picture in front of the hotel that I'm convinced everyone is in. I think Lloyd is in there as a young boy. But we don't have confirmation of that, so we'll figure it out, hopefully soon. This is Lloyd as an older gentleman. It's also not a great picture, but it's all I have. So that's Lloyd and his wife, Frances. I think their 50th anniversary. Yep, 50th wedding anniversary. Okay. We don't have a picture of Todd yet, no. We might have one. Like, I keep going back to this picture. He might be in this picture. He probably is, but we don't know yet, so... Hopefully, when I talk to Jim a little bit more and get to pull up that picture, he'll have some kind of info. We kind of hit a dead end with that picture. Like, I was really trying to dig. I really tried. I was looking into historical fashion, trying to, like, date the picture, because if we could date the picture, we could really narrow down who's in it. We know for a fact that this is Emma Jane Gibson, who is the wife Edna's mother. So Todd's in-laws here. That's Emma and Amos. These are his in-laws. They owned that hotel. So that's also, like, we know that's them. And it also looks just like them. Like, we have this picture, and then we have this picture of Amos and Emma. It's clearly them. So that's great that we can start with them. But then from there, I don't know. We really did, like, look at how many sons and daughters they had and tried to count the people in. There's just, like, a lot of people in this picture, and it's hard to tell their ages and the time frame. It seemed like I did ask TikTok, and I, like, made a video about it and pointed out the different pieces of fashion, because that's really all we have. Like, we don't have much else in this picture that could date it. We know that the porch was put on, I think, like, I don't know what it was, but we found the date that the front porch was put on of the hotel, which was like early 1900s, I think. And then in order for these two little kids to be who I want them to be, and I try to like not jump the gun because they could be other people, but I really want this to be Edna, the daughter, and Lloyd. And they're about, I think, 7 years apart. I think it was 7 years apart. So it could be. That would mean that this picture was taken in like 1911. Because she was born in it would be like 1910-ish. She was born in 1909, right? Yeah, and Lloyd was born in 1902. So this would be like 1910 or 1911, because she looks like maybe she's like 1 or 1.5 or 2, I don't know. And then if it's them, then their parents are probably somewhere in here, right? Like, this girl looks like a little bit too young. But someone said, Rachel said, I bet it's the guy with the overalls on his own to the left. Him? You think that's Todd? Well, actually, now that you mention it, those overalls are striped, and isn't that something to do with the railroad? Like, don't railroad workers, didn't they wear striped overalls, or am I just making that up? I love the chairs, by the way. But I always pictured this being Todd. I don't know why, you know? Is that actually a thing? Did they wear the striped? Because that might be, why is he all by himself, though? I don't know. Maybe I'll take out all the information that we have about the photo again, and I'll reevaluate. But I'm also going to ask Jim, like, maybe he'll know for certain, oh, this person is this. This guy definitely looks related to him. Maybe only in cartoons, though. Yeah, but you know what? Cartoons, if they have, like, a certain stereotype of railroad workers in a cartoon, they're getting that from somewhere. Yeah, they're most likely Emma's family. Yes, I know. But it's like, more scraping going on. I don't know. And this guy's too old. We did actually find a man who looked like him. He's Amos's brother, so that would make sense. Maybe by the kids. Yeah, I don't know. There's like no men over there. And I think that Emma had 2 sisters, so this would make... Edna had 2 sisters. We'll have to reevaluate. We'll have to go back. I don't know. Maybe that's Todd. I did look at... Because I was like really getting into this picture. I was looking at the different styles in the early 1900s. And these hats, like these different styles of hats, were dated to like... after 1900, I think. Like 1910, I think these became more popular, and it would make sense... Sorry, that's so loud. It would make sense that the younger men are wearing younger styles. Sorry if it's really, really loud. I don't know what that was. They're banging on stuff. You mean to the right of the kids? Hold on. Let me zoom out. The right of the kids. Like this guy? The noise is not that bad? Okay, good, because it's really bad for me. It's very, very loud. I love the tiny little baby chair. Oh, actually, I can look at the computer and see how the noise is. I can see if it jumps. Oh, that's the left. I'm sorry. I'm such an idiot. Okay, so you mean... Let me go back to what your comment was. By the kids. I don't see a man by the kids. Him? Yeah, could be. And we'd have to look, like, once we identify the women, maybe this man might be married to this woman. I don't know. We did do a lot of work, and it's been so long that I forget. It was really hard to pin down anyone else in the picture. Because really, no matter what, it's all guessing. But the photos did really match up. I mean, the ages, like the age of this photo. Like if this was Lloyd, then that makes sense it was Edna. But hold on, does anyone look like a young daughter, Edna? The more I see the picture, the more I think Emma is actually her mother. Yes, that is true. It could be. And there's the other thing. But then where is Emma? Because this is definitely Amos, right? Like, that's Amos for sure. So where is Emma? Let me, someone sent something on Discord. Hold on. I don't have it open. I don't know. Yeah, because this does look... Emma looked exactly like her mother. Sorry, Discord is checking for updates. And I promise we'll move on soon, but I love talking about this picture. It stumps me a lot. Okay, let me see. What has been sent in the Diary Detectives group? Railroad worker uniform. Oh, okay, but the only thing is, so that is it, right? Hold on, wrong picture. Where was it? This one. Ah! Zoom out. Okay. So this is the guy in the overalls, and this is the railroad uniform. I mean, looks pretty close, but the only thing is the Gibsons and the Delaney's were very into the railroad. Like, lots of family members were in on the railroad. So, you think it's the brother that died young? Possibly. There's too many possibilities, you know? We'll have to work harder on that in the Diary Detectives. Maybe we'll, like, bring this picture back and we will really try to dive into it. The Diary Detectives, I keep mentioning that, but if you haven't been around for a while, it is the Patreon group. So it's a group of Patreon subscribers who get access to a special Discord group, and we do research in there. So that would be, like, I think maybe we'll dive deeper into that this week. Okay, I'm going to go back to the entries because I don't think we're really going to get anywhere just on live of doing that, but it is something. We get more people joining if we share the live and tap to like. That's true. If TikTok sees people liking it, they think that it's worth sharing, I guess. But unfortunately, I don't see like anything about likes on here. I guess I do now. Oh, okay, I see it on the other screen. But, okay. So, a chilly day, Edna went to CR in the afternoon with Crawls and came out home with Nellie about 9:30. If you have anything that you want to share about that picture, by the way, if anyone like knows anything about historic fashion or has any opinions, there is a video that I made about it. It's probably a while back now. He died in 1911, that brother. Okay. Oh, you have a picture of him. See, like, it's been so long. You probably did show... Jen, I'm talking to Jen. You probably did show us this before. We would be able to figure out if this is him, because that is such a clear picture. Where did the other one go? Here. I feel like that's him, too. What do you guys think? Can you see this? Hold on, I can't see what you see. This is the picture of the hotel. This is the brother. That's him. That's him for sure, right? Thanks, Jen. Okay. So that dates the picture to... Wait. The left eyebrow is arched in both pics, and the right is straight. Ha-ha! You guys are like scientists. That's awesome. That's him for sure. Okay. I am going to make a note. Thank you, because I'll forget, and then we'll do this all over again. Jen, what's his name? I could find out, but I want you to have the satisfaction. Jen is awesome. All of the Diary Detectives are awesome. Jen is really fast, always on top of it. Leonard. Exclamation points. Okay, so we know that's not Todd. That's one less person. And also, we know that this... Okay, so let's find out. That is... So that's one of Edna's siblings, then? One down, yeah. How many to go? Is it one of Emma's siblings. Where is he? Yes, okay. And I had that picture, but I didn't put it together. Okay, so these are Emma's siblings. Wait. No. Oh, so you think... Wait, did he die young? Yeah, he died... Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm thinking this picture is way, way older, but no, he died young. So, that narrows it down to being definitely before October 1911. And when was Edna born? She was born in 1909. So it's possible that those are the kids. Because I would say that that man looks like he is... So this guy is like... How old is he? Let's take a look at his picture closer too. Do I have any other pictures of him too? So he was 30 when he died. And I was going to say he looks even younger in this picture, but I guess he could be 30. Do you think he looks like he could be 30? He definitely like doesn't look too young. But this could be another baby in the family, I don't know. I feel like that's Lloyd and that's Edna. He looks mid-20s, yeah. He does look a little, I was going to say he looked a little younger. But not like definitely 20s, 30, like 20 to 30. Can you put the pictures side by side? I can try. I don't know with my little like stream setup here if that's going to work. But, oh, you know what I could do? This is going to seem really like... Okay, there we go. I can paste it into my document. Because TikTok, it only allows me to like choose what I'm sharing, which windows I'm sharing before I do the live. I don't think I can add a window, but this is one way I can do it. Do we know when the other pic was taken? That is a great question. Where did I just put that? Okay. Let me bring this back in here. Oh, here. Let's see. Does this have a date on it? No, it doesn't have a date attached to it, but it was taken in Philadelphia. He was a cutie. Oh, okay. So Miller family standing circa 1890. This is another picture, but this was 1890. Leonard is, that must be him. No, Leonard here. He's too young. I think it looks like him too. So really what we know from that is that it was, the picture was taken before 1911. That's all we can learn from that, which is helpful. But I wish we had more of a, like I wish it was 1910 or something. I don't know. Oh my God. This is his death certificate. Broken and crushed neck caused by being run over by a freight train. Oh my God. We must have learned that. I'm sorry if we talked about this in the Diary Detectives and I forgot, but holy crap. That is awful. Hi, Chelsea. You joined right in time. We're talking about a terrible death. So that was in Pennsylvania. So in 1911, he was in Pennsylvania. Wait, why does it... Oh, that's the death, not birth. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, like, when was he last in Fairfax? Maybe we could figure out... One time we were looking and we found that family members were visiting at a certain time. So I wonder if we could look up... I'm going to put on my little note that I never follow through with. I'm sorry. I've been so bad lately. I'm going to put on my little note that we can look into if Leonard was visiting Fairfax. Sometimes they did put that in the newspaper. Oh my gosh, your grandfather was crushed too. That's awful. I'm sorry about that. That is like the worst. So, he definitely, that outfit, that uniform definitely was for the railroad then. Okay. Let's keep reading. There's always like a little side plot. He was the brakeman. Oh. Yeah, I know. It gives you the chills. He's standing by himself in that photo. It is true. He's kind of like on his own. And he never married, it doesn't look like. Sorry, I like can't find the picture again. Here. Yeah, well, I mean, we know that's him. That's definitely him. So, that doesn't leave many other men. Yeah, we could read his obituary. We could find it. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to be doing this, or do you want to be reading the diary? Because I'm happy to just start, like, researching a little bit, but I don't want to, like, bore anybody. Okay, let's go on newspapers.com. This is always kind of fun too, though, because then I get to like show you guys how I do this. It would never be boring. Okay. Sometimes it's like you don't find things though, or it's tough. So, okay. So let's look up. Oh, thank you for sending those things. I see Erin and Somnia sent. Thank you. Leonard Miller, and what was the Leonard D. Miller? October 1911 in Pennsylvania. Okay, so Leonard Miller, October 1911 in Pennsylvania. Okay, here it is. Among those who attended the funeral of the late Leonard V. Miller were the following brothers, sisters, and nieces. Okay. So that's the family. They must have gone to Pennsylvania. Oh, you like the detective work too. That's good. Okay. So I wonder, I might as well, while I'm here, save this to my little ancestry. This is new. This is not how it used to look. Do I have to add a title? Okay, there we go. Now it's popping up to be for... Oh, stupid bug in my face. Leonard Miller. Okay. Oh, I have to enter a title. Okay, I might do all the saving to Ancestry later because that just takes forever. Okay, so what I usually do is I'll read, like, that was just the first newspaper. I usually open them in new tabs because for some reason when you go back on newspapers.com, sometimes it brings you all the way to the top. So I'll just literally go down the list, open all of them in a new link. Sometimes they are duplicates, but sometimes they're not. So then I go through and read them. So we have here... Someone was visiting Leonard Miller. That is not really what we're looking for right now. Ora Miller of Montana. That's funny. This is definitely Mrs. Todd Delaney, but they misspelled it. Can it zoom in? See that? They wrote Delancey. Of Fairfax, Iowa, left for their respective homes. They were in Carlisle for the funeral of their brother. Okay. So they came to visit and went to the funeral. You need one of those old library caps and green lamps. And have dedicated research streams. I know, I need to be on here more because it's fun, but like, I don't know. This summer, I've been so busy. I do a lot of stuff. I'm also taking classes, but if I could, I'd be on here all the time. This is so fun. And it's been a while since I've done like an actual research rabbit hole on here with you guys. So, all right. Carlisle man met death on rail. Ooh. He was a trained man in the employ of the Pennsylvania Railroad, and the first news the family had of the accident they delivered the message. He was about 23 years of age. That's not true. Unless we have to do one of the facts on Ancestry was wrong. 2 members of the family left this morning and will return with the body on... Oh. The unfortunate man was a freight brakeman. Yeah, they probably guessed his age, but... All right. Oh my gosh. Some of these articles, the way they were written back then, were just so like, I don't know. How Leonard Miller met his death. He believed to have fallen between 2 cars. They always say this too, of this place. Yeah, he did look young. Maybe he was younger than 30. Because I have 30 on here. It says he was born August 1881, but like I pulled that from a random fact, and I'm not very good with double and triple checking every little fact, so maybe, I don't know, maybe he was actually younger. Now I can't find, okay, here I was. Okay, so I'm reading in my head. I should read out loud. Pennsylvania Railroad, engine number 2719, eastbound, was in... Oh, okay, he was a brakeman, and he was instantly killed this morning at 4:20 o'clock at the east end of the fairgrounds on the Columbia line of the road. How the accident occurred is not known, as there were no witnesses, but it is believed he slipped and fell between cars, and the last two cars passing over his neck and left arm. Oh my God. Ugh. He was unmarried. He was a member of the Harrisburg crew. Dr. Hartman, acting as coroner, made an investigation, decided that the death was accidental. Okay. Miller must have been walking on the train when he fell off between the last 2 cars, one of which was the caboose. When he fell off between the last 2 cars, passed over his body. He was cut completely in 2. Oh my God. And his body was picked up in pieces. Exactly how the accident occurred is not known. The deceased was a resident of Carlisle and started railroading about 5 years of age. About 5 years ago. He began on the Cumberland Valley Road, but was transferred to Pennsylvania Main Line and continued to keep his home in Carlisle. Hello. We're reading about a man who tragically was run over by a train and his body was cut in 2 pieces. So sad. So scary. He was a young man who was highly esteemed by a large circle of friends, and his untimely death is the subject of general regret. Right below is just a thing about someone buying a house. Oh, really? I don't know if I X'd out that. I might have X'd out that tab. So between 25 and 30 years old. Yep, about probably. So we know the picture is sometime between 1906 and 1911 because he wouldn't be wearing railroad ink before. That's a great point. Yeah, probably not. That's actually a really good point. That really narrows it down. And they guessed his death at 35 on the death certificate. Okay, so yeah, he must have... Well, you know what's interesting? He was in Pennsylvania for some reason without any other family. So people probably didn't know exactly his year of birth. Year of birth. That sounded, like, really formal. But yeah, they probably had to guess that when they found him. And maybe they didn't have, like... I'm sure in 1911 they weren't keeping as detailed records of people as they do now. Yeah, that's why it's so empty. Yeah, they had to guess everything. And then by the time the family was alerted and arrived and may have had that information, maybe it was, like, not that important to update it, I guess. It was different then. You know, like, now everything is so... Every record is so detailed of everybody, and, like, it just wasn't like that before. A lot of times doing research like this, most birth dates, like, before a certain time, it's like, oh, about 1880 they were born. Like, you don't even get an exact date. Yeah, he got transferred, so that's why he was there, but he was all by himself. That is sad. All right. I guess we'll keep going. Edna went to see R in the afternoon, but now you can see, like, how many different, yeah, actually, it did say it was instant. I mean, it says that, we don't know, but I would assume, with the extent of the injuries, I would think it was. I would hope so, too. I was just saying, like, all the different rabbit holes we can go down just with, like, a couple of, isn't his birthday in his death certificate? Yeah, but I think the death certificate, I don't know where the 1881 came from. That's linked to the census, the death certificate, and find a grave. So let me see. Oh, I know. Maybe let's look on his gravestone. Leonard, 1881. So he was born in 1881. That's where that came from. The other records just didn't really match up, but they were just probably guesses. Oh, yeah, Audra. Todd's brother-in-law. No, Todd's... Hold on. Edna's mother, so Todd's mother-in-law's brother. It's kind of distant, but not really, I guess, because they were all, like, in the same picture together, so he was very young. He was born 20 years after his sister, so... Yeah, he unfortunately had a very, very tragic death on the railroad. Okay, a chilly day. Edna went to see R in the afternoon with Crawls and came out home with Nellie about 9:30. Did some Xmas shopping. Read the pension today? Read the pension, or maybe it's RECD, like received the pension today. Maybe you guys can give input on that. I don't know. Oh, and Audra, if you just popped in, next week when I do my presentation at Rock Hall, I am live streaming it. So if you want to register on my TikTok page, you can. Yeah, I think it is RECD. Thanks, Cheryl. Received the pension today. Sold the Coleman lantern. And the plate camera. Is that like an old kind of camera? I know that you... Yeah. Cool. Edna and Nellie were really into photography. Yes, I can zoom out on the diary. Sorry. I think I was zooming in on received. Yeah, that's really interesting. And the Coleman lantern, I find that funny because, like, we have a Coleman lantern. So that is a brand that really stood the test of time, huh? It is really fun. I like when I come across... Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, we don't know. So Allie said, yet there are barely any pics. I'm assuming you mean, like, of the family. There are probably lots of pictures out there. We just don't have them. And I'll be live at Rock Hall at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So there is a live event on my page. You just have to click on the one that's happening now. Like, you have to go to TikTok. It says live event today, 6 p.m. You do have to click on that, and then it will show you Rock Hall lecture. And I'm presenting about a 1917 diary, which is the diary that actually started this whole hobby for me. The Weatherman Diaries was like the second one. The 1917 diary is the first diary I started to share on TikTok and everything, and like really dive into research for it. And the Rock Hall is actually the diary writer's old summer home, which is now a museum. So they've invited me to come give a presentation about like my research process and how I got the diary and her life and her time spent at Rock Hall, which it'll be really fun. Yeah, so if you'd love to listen to the 1917 diary, I did make a lot of videos about that one, And there's a playlist on my page. It's also, all of them are uploaded to my YouTube if you find that easier, because they're like more organized there, I guess. But I think, I don't know, I have like so many projects and I want to do so many things. I would love to start over with that. Like after I finish through, I've shared about almost through September, I think, of that diary. And that one is much meatier than this one. Like there's so much more in each entry to unpack. These are a little bit quicker because it's a smaller diary. But I would love to go through that one more time and remake the videos, because as you know, as we read this diary, we're learning more and more every single time we read an entry. And it's the same with her diary. Like the more I read, the more I find out, the more photos we find of her. Like I just made a video the other day about I put all of the pictures we have of Anglesey in that video, and it was awesome to see them all together. Like we started off with nothing. I started off with nothing, and then I found one picture. And then I found one more months later. And then her family, I connected with her family, and they sent some. So the same kind of thing is happening with this diary. Like we've finally connected with relatives, but no picture yet. But yeah, long story short, I'll be presenting about Anglesey and her life at Rock Hall, and it should be very fun, especially if you followed along with the story. But you don't need to. Like someone asked earlier, do you need to have like followed the story to kind of know what's going on? I'm going to start from the beginning and basically treat it like I'm talking to people who don't follow me, because that's kind of what it will be. The people who are actually there at the presentation are probably just people who are interested in the museum and James Monroe, her dad, and it probably won't be all followers. Are you guys talking in French? Oh, are you talking in Gaelic? Irish. Would be good to go to do in the winter when our days are long and boring. Yeah. I could practice on you beforehand. That's very true. Maybe I will. I'm going to be in New York. I'm going on Sunday. So I'll be there from Sunday to Sunday, I think. Or Sunday to Saturday. Yeah, maybe I will. Because I really have to, like, tomorrow I got to put it together. I know, like, I have an outline of what I want to cover. And I'm breaking it down into different sections because that helps me. But I really need to, like, dig in. I have to decide if I'm going to... I know I want to present pictures and stuff behind me. I have to decide if I want to make it on Google Slides, which I'm most comfortable with, but it's kind of boring, or Canva, because Canva has like so many more templates and stuff. I know, yeah, Mike, I remember you told me about GPT. I can't talk, and that is very true. Off subject, the house is looking great. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're working really, really hard. That's why I haven't been on here as much. You can hear them working hard right now. Sawing things and banging on things. Todd was a station agent and a telegrapher. There's Ian again. What are you doing?
Just came to hang out.
He came to hang out. He came to hang out. Sit down. Okay. Rachel says hi.
Hi, Rachel.
Okay, so they sold the Coleman lantern and the plate camera, just in case you were wondering. We've only gotten to December 9th because we've been talking so much. It's been a very talkative live. They said I should get a Nintendo Switch. And that it's almost my half birthday.
I already got one.
Yeah, you got one on Prime Day. I did check, and it wasn't for sale on Prime Day. But I always talk myself out of it, and they're all talking me into it, saying that Animal Crossing is worth it. Okay, Sunday, December 10th, the first real snowstorm of the season. It was snowing when we got up in the AM and kept it up all day. Ian, do you want to try to read a sentence? No.
I can't read that.
He can't read that. It's not that hard. Not many cars out. We were to go in to Lloyd's for dinner. but I did not feel good. She hasn't felt good in a long time. Seems like weeks that's been part of every entry. I did not feel good. And Edna did not go as she was afraid she would get stuck in the barnyard. What? Would like to have gone. Lloyd was disappointed. I gotta go fix afraid. I wonder what that means, she would get stuck in the barnyard. When I was reading it, I was thinking it was going to, like, Edna was afraid she'd get stuck in the snow because there's a snowstorm, but what do we think she means by she'd get stuck in the barnyard? Maybe she has to... I don't think Lloyd lives near a barn, because Lloyd lives... do I have a picture of his house? I have one somewhere. Lloyd lives in Cedar Rapids, and... I have a picture of his house somewhere, but it's not here. It's a house that looks kind of like this. It's not... I don't think he has, like, a farm. Maybe the road is unpaved. Oh, Erin says, I've noticed with Lillian's diaries that don't feel good is used when not feeling good physically and mentally. Okay, yeah, that's true. And obviously, Edna's in a place where she's definitely not feeling good mentally. Maybe means she doesn't want to have to work in the barn. Oh, okay, yeah. If she goes, she'd be stuck doing it, yeah. Or maybe her car is parked in the barn, and she literally wouldn't be able to get out. I don't know. Alright, temp 19 above. That's sad that Lloyd was disappointed, though. Plenty of snow on the ground. Edna got out and shoveled around the house before she went to work. Edna is doing a lot of those household chores. Yes, that's true, Jen. Jen has his address, but I have a picture of the house that I had saved somewhere. Hold on, maybe I can open it in a different... I think I have it in here. Hold on. Yeah, I have it. I'm going to paste it into the other one. I think when I originally put it in here, I wasn't sure if it was his house, so I didn't want to put it in the official one. Oops. But, oops. How's my dad doing up there? Does it look good?
He's doing well.
Is he in the kitchen?
Yeah.
So that is Lloyd's house. With his family. Okay. Before she went to work. Edna did not get home until... I feel like the air compressor is about to go off again. About 6:30 tonight. 9 inches of snow. I remember when that air compressor used to go off, like, in the basement. I used to get so scared. I didn't know what it was. I thought there was a ghost, like, setting off tools. Oh, man. Okay, temperature... 7 a.m. 6 above. Very raw wind. Mr. Crawl went to Chicago. Oh, I cannot type Chicago today. While he's up there, can your dad build a time machine so we can go and find out all these questions? Yeah. He is very handy. Edna and I all alone this evening. I feel like my dad is in his element right now.
He is.
He comes over after work. Yeah. It looks really good. And like me and Ian are able to do a lot ourselves, but wow, like it's so much we've gotten so much more done with all the help. And my mom too, like and Ian's parents too. But my dad is like really in his element. Every day coming over to put up more of the paneling. I think he's like me, where once you see a little bit of progress, it's like addicting. And you just want to do more and more and more, because the kitchen looks 100 times better than it did when we moved in already, and it's only been like 3 weeks, so lots of snow on the ground. Yeah, and now the living room also looks 1,000 times better just because of the painting and the beadboard. Imagine that. Man invents a time machine and the first trip is to a random family in Fairfax. Yeah, I think the first place I would go is probably to go see Anglesey. July 13th. Addie transcribes diary while Ian chills out and Addie's dad is working upstairs. Except it's the 12th. It is like you're living my diary. That's funny. I should keep... I do keep a diary, like a 5-year diary, so it's small entries and you write each day. But I should keep one more like in Todd's style. Yeah, you're ahead of yourself. That's okay. For some people, I think the people in Australia, they are a day ahead. So it is the 13th. Oh, it is the 13th there. It's after midnight. Yep. So there we go. About the keyboard topic from before. The loud keyboard is what got your attention while scrolling. Haha, interesting. And then you stayed for the content. So we were talking because it was really loud upstairs and someone was like, it must have been Dad, scraping something. And I was like, oh, like I didn't know if they could hear it and I didn't know which direction to turn the knob because it doesn't say which, like, I don't know if that's what I need to do, right? So I was doing that and I was like, oh, you'll know because you'll hear the keyboard more. And in the first few lives, a lot of people were commenting how they loved the sound of the keyboard. And it was an unexpected, like, thing that happened every time. And then I was thinking, oh, man, if I turn the gain down, right, down, you'll hear more? Or up?
If you turn it up, you'll hear more.
So if I turn the gain up, now you can hear the keyboard again. And now maybe more people will join because that's what they liked in the first place. So if I go this way, that's up.
Yeah, is that the gain knob? That looks like that's that's the volume knob.
The volume.
What's that say right there?
Is
that volume or gain?
Oh, it does say volume, but it's underneath. Oh, okay.
Gain is on the back.
Gain. Yeah. So I have to turn gain up.
Yeah, the more you turn it up, the more like ASMR it gets.
ASMR.
Yeah.
That's what people do. Okay. So that was all in my head then. The volume, like, I was turning the volume up thinking I was turning the gain up.
Yeah, no, that's just the volume.
Well, now you guys are going to hear.
But that's not the input volume either, though.
No, so it literally did nothing.
Actually...
No, it did nothing, I think.
I think it did nothing, yeah.
Okay. So now you might be able to hear the keyboard more. See, this is what you get. Ian didn't live with me before. He was never in the lives, and now you're just going to hear us talk to each other all the time. I'm glad that you're here. Okay, temp 18 above this morning, but a cold wind from the northwest. Oops. The sun came out real bright during the day. Need to get a Shure SM7B microphone. Put that on the list. This one's a Yeti. A Yeti. And I bought it because that's what Ian had. Because I either have his hand-me-down technology or I just get the same thing that he gets. Yeah, now we have two. It's fine. Mine is dented from moving. I knocked it off the desk. But apparently it still works. Okay. The coldest. Is Ian a gamer? You're a gamer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a gamer. He's very techie and he plays a lot of Halo, right?
Yeah, I like.
And he got me into Minecraft, but he doesn't play Minecraft anymore.
I sometimes. Play
Sometimes.
Minecraft.
I don't really play Minecraft anymore either because we're so
It's
busy.
a big time commitment.
But he basically like played with me all the time, and we had a realm, and it was so good. And then he just got bored of it, and he never wanted to play anymore. And then it became us playing video games side by side, but playing different video games. We're growing apart. What else do you like to play? Halo, and you go and he does LAN parties with his friends, and he plays
Play Call of Duty.
Rachel just said, I try to play Minecraft with my son, but he just blows everything up. That is such a, like, how old is he, Rachel? I think I remember you may have sent a picture of his birthday. Oh my god, that is so funny. Because that's such a little boy thing to do. Like, my students, he's 8, yep. My students play Minecraft, and they think it's the funniest thing ever. Like, every once in a while, they make their art about Minecraft, or they're talking about it in class. And I go, oh, guess who plays Minecraft? I do. And they don't believe me, and they think it's so cool. But they're talking about Minecraft like, oh, dude, I got the diamond pickaxe and the TNT. And they just literally grief everybody. So sad. That's not how I play. I would get so mad. We have a friend, Zach, who plays with us sometimes. And he's the type of Minecraft player who he'll like build the most insane structures that are bigger than anything we could build, right? And he also would like low-key threaten to burn our village down just for fun. And I would hate that. You've created a world that we blow up now, and one where we have to be good. That's a great idea. Oh, that is funny. Yeah, I remember one time in Minecraft, I was going, like, I logged on, and we would all log on at different times. And I remember Zach had, like, when I wasn't logged on, just set the forest on fire. And I was going to get, like, I don't know, to go find a pig or find some flowers or something, and the forest was just burning. It was awful. My sister and I used to play together. I used to collect villagers and put them to work. That's what we did. Kind of a low-key problematic. My kids had battles with their cousins because of that issue, yeah. Oh, wow, everyone plays Minecraft. Oh, I used to host a server, and I'd use God mode to spawn thousands of chickens in people's rooms. Guess who did that too? Zach. We had a little cute little town, and he built a giant tower, like, over our town. A giant tower. We need to make a Minecraft realm then. All of us need to play together. But anyways, he would go to the top of his building, which looks down on our town, and he would just throw eggs, like millions of eggs. Yeah, we do. Erin, maybe I'll make a Minecraft realm for the Diary Detectives. That would be awesome. But yeah, he used to throw like millions of chicken eggs, which sometimes hatch into chickens, and again, I'd log on and it'd just be everywhere.
People in a single realm.
Well, the Diary Detectives is like, oh my god, Rachel said we'll create Fairfax. That would be hilarious and kind of crazy.
I think the max is 6.
6? No way. No way. People go on all the time, like, and giant realms, and they have teams and stuff.
Those are servers.
Servers. Ian knows how to make a server.
Yeah, but I'm not paying for that infrastructure to have 25 people.
Well,
that'll cost like $100 a month.
We'll make a separate Patreon. Okay, well, no matter what, I can make a realm for the Diary Detectives, and we'll make Fairfax. Okay, and Erin, yes, you do need to start playing Minecraft. And then I'll get into it again, and I have too many things to do already, so it'll be great. Okay, December 14th, the coldest morning so far. 2 below 0. I got cut off with the Wi-Fi is so much better here.
You're not using Wi-Fi.
Oh, now I'm hooked up. I am hooked up to the Ethernet. But, like, in general, the Wi-Fi was so much better here than at my house.
Well, yeah, because the access point's right there, so it has to go through plaster and wood. And it's just not really that great for upstairs. We need another one upstairs.
No, I mean at my house. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah. But didn't the mesh help?
It did, but sometimes it just, I don't know. It was having a moment. Yeah, that's why there hasn't been pauses. Because, well, yeah, exactly. And I'm, like, actually hardwired into the internet right now.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any issues unless there's an issue with Xfinity.
See, I'm so glad that I have him here now. I used to just sit there and be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, he got me a little cord and an adapter. Okay, Nellie came here after school. So, Nellie was a teacher. We established that last time, that she's not like taking a class, but she is teaching. Or she might be a principal at this point, because she was. Edna and Nellie wrote Xmas cards in the evening. You miss Xfinity. Do we have Xfinity?
We have Xfinity.
Yeah, we do have Xfinity. Do you not anymore? Is that what? You had to switch. I had at my parents' house Spectrum, which I don't think that's like a big one. It was terrible. We didn't have any choice though. Where we lived was very, it was much more rural, and there weren't like many to choose from. That was basically the only choice. But I don't know if here there were many choices, but the people who lived here last did Xfinity, so that's what we did. And it's been working fine.
We also have options too. We don't have to use Xfinity.
Oh, Jen has Spectrum. Okay, so Spectrum is what's there in Tennessee. It might be just that where I live, the Spectrum was bad. Like, because it was just kind of in the middle of nowhere, so it may have been like the place that was the problem, not the provider. But I just know that it was always just cutting out constantly. I forget what you just said. Sorry if I...
We have options, too.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to only get Xfinity. We could get Verizon.
Okay.
Or...
Verizon's probably expensive.
Verizon is a little more expensive, but I think it's better.
Yeah. Okay, so rather windy today. Edna did not get home from work until 6 o'clock tonight. Fiber is amazing. Oh, like, is that fiber? No.
Fiber.
What's fiber?
Fiber is a different... it's like... So that's an Ethernet
I was
cable.
like, fiber optics? It's not fiber optics.
It is fiber optics.
Oh, but isn't fiber optics like TV?
Well, it's also for just transmitting data. That's copper. Those Ethernet cables are copper.
Okay.
So fiber is much, much faster.
Wow. Oh. They got fiber yesterday. A lot of people have fiber. Fiber is amazing. So, I'm very off topic now, but fiber, do you like get fiber and you still, like is that one company? Or
Yeah,
can you
like
have
some
Xfinity and have fiber?
Some
Oh, it's like
provide it as
okay,
an option.
Yep.
But they have to come in here and they have to install a fiber optic lead into the house, and then you need.
Is that Verizon Fios?
Yeah, that's fiber.
Okay, because I remember that Verizon Fios would not create the lines or something.
They don't provide it everywhere because they
didn't provide it in where I lived. Because it was like middle of nowhere. I remember that.
How any of that works once you get outside of the house, like on the telephone lines, I have no clue how that stuff works.
I think they have to have like they have to connect it.
Certain infrastructure set up.
5G kind of. You have fiber from AT&T. It's high speed. Okay, we have high speed, but they installed it around your town this spring and summer. That's cool. Yeah, I remember that was always like something that people talked about. Oh, when are they going to do Verizon Fios? And Verizon wouldn't do it. I remember when we first got high speed internet. It was so not high speed compared to now. All right, it's amazing what we're doing now because like back then, it would never load. Edna went to CR this evening. She took the roaster into this must be a town. Kubias. No. Kirbi? Yeah, Rachel, that's what I'm thinking. Kirbias? Or a store. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's a store. You remember searching the internet and not getting any results for searches. Yeah. Actually, we were just talking about this with friends the other day. About, like, the first thing we remember. Like, the first thing I remember watching on YouTube was the Harry Potter Puppet Pals. And the first thing, like, when I remembered having dial-up. We were just, like, talking about that. And, we were reminiscing about old YouTube. You live so far in the country you don't get water and you have to pump it? Wow. Yeah, I don't know what this place is.
That's just a well?
Well, maybe. Well. Yeah, I guess. I had a well at my old house too, but it sounds like they have you guys have tanks. It sounds like they she lives really far out, Brenda. I'm gonna do this. Okay, to sell. Nellie came out home with her. Okay, so we'll have to look up this place. Kubayas. Or Kubayas, I don't know. I guess it's probably a store with the S at the end, like that's the person's name. Okay. Temperature 26 above this AM. Rather cloudy in the morning, but cleared up and sun shone bright. Early YouTube. Kids these days, back in my day, the internet had no video. Yeah, I guess. There's always before, right? There's always something older. Kids these days, that's what we say. Kids these days grew up on iPads. But Nellie went into church. Oh, you did? You found the building? Cool, okay. Was it in Fairfax or Cedar Rapids? Okay, Nellie went into church. Okay, I'll look it up. Was it... Hold on, I lost the comment. Cedar Rapids. Jen just sent something. Oh, cool, a hardware company. Thanks, guys, very cool. And look at the perfect timing. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. From that store. Merry Christmas, come buy stuff. Nellie went into church. Lloyd called up from about 12 o'clock on his way. Oh, called up from CR. It's kind of cut off. About 12 o'clock. I know, Jen is very fast. On his way to Chicago. Oops. From Omaha. His train was about 8.5 hours late in CR. He was afraid he would not get back out home tonight. 8.5 hours late. You think they're hurting for finances? Yeah, it's possible. They actually never really mentioned money before, and now they are mentioning that, like the pension. We picked up the pension today. We brought the cash to this. Like they are mentioning money and selling things a lot more, so it's very possible. Hello. Just gonna watch. Why aren't you going to help my dad?
I don't think
he doesn't want any help. You just get in his way. A cold morning. It was 12 below. The coldest morning this winter. Nellie could not get her car started this morning. A garage man from Walford pulled, that makes way more sense, pulled her, I was thinking like put it around, but no, pulled her out of the yard at 11 o'clock. So maybe when they were talking about getting stuck in the barnyard, that's actually what they meant. Like maybe they parked in the barn and they had to like drive through the yard. Edna has a cold. Wonder what car she had? I don't know, but we know what car Edna had. Jim told me, but I forget what it was. I have it written down. And I meant to... We actually found pictures. Jen says, Ian, you can join us if you're bored.
No, I'm not bored.
He's not bored. What are you looking up on your computer or phone? Amazon?
No, I'm having a conversation with ChatGPT.
Oh, he's talking to ChatGPT. Micah was just talking about ChatGPT. What are you talking about? You're really having a conversation with AI right now when I'm right here.
Yes, I was trying to learn about bandwidth. Because we were just talking about it. And sometimes certain questions are really hard to Google.
Yeah.
And you really can't. It's really hard to figure out, but this is makes it a lot easier.
Oh, Thursday, December 19th. This was my birthday.
What's this person's name you're talking about?
Edna.
What's their whole name?
Edna Delaney. Jen agrees that ChatGPT is the best at explaining things. I am like really kind of freaked out by ChatGPT a little bit. I was well
Doesn't know who that is.
Remembered. No, only we know who that is. From Edna, Lloyd, and Francis. Nellie. I'm trying to see if this is all one sentence. Tell Ian congratulations on winning the horseshoe tournament. She saw it on Facebook. Oh. Yeah, that was a big deal. I wish I had the trophy down here. My family has a family reunion every, they did have it every year. We haven't had it in a few years because of COVID and everything. But at that family reunion, we have a horseshoe tournament, and it's like the big deal. It's just like every year, everyone looks forward to that, and the winner is like I don't know, it's a big deal. And this was Ian's first family reunion, because we've been together for over 4 years, but most of those years were COVID, and then they didn't have it last year. So this was his first family picnic, and he won the tournament, which is unheard of. Like, these people who are in the tournament have practiced their whole lives. Yeah, it was really fun. I was so proud. All right. So, well remembered from Edna, Lloyd, and Francis. Nellie, I'm going to say that this is a new sentence, but we'll figure it out. Nellie, Mrs. feel like that's Tamblyn because that name just sort of... Can you hand me that diary, Ian? Is that a tick on your leg?
No, it's a fuzz.
Oh. Just joins the family and beats everyone. Literally. People were mad. Well, you didn't play against my dad.
No.
Because it was like a bracket kind of thing. But he technically beat my dad, who is the horseshoe champion. Mrs. Tamblyn. It is Mrs. Tamblyn, I checked. Mrs. Tamblyn and Millie something. Oh, okay, here. This says, I was well remembered from Edna, Lloyd, and Francis. Lloyd and Francis is one unit because they're, yes, Jen, you're reading my mind. She writes Lloyd and Francis as if a combo, yep. And then there's a comma after Francis. Nellie, Mrs. Tamblyn, and Millie. Then, cards from, oh, your grandma says hi.
Hi.
Hi, Grandma. Cards from Mr. and Mrs. Crawl. Oh, you know what? I think a while ago, whenever we'd read this name, I think I wrote Noel. But now we know it's Crawl. So I should go back and change that. And Helen. Edna and... Is my mom here too or no? I feel like I can hear her.
Yeah, she's here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Edna and I... Yep, there she is. Just complaining about something. No, I shouldn't have said that. I forget that I'm on live sometimes. Edna and I alone all day. I could just tell by her tone. Today. Lloyd out on the road. We heard today that Norman was accepted in the Coast Guard. I thought they already knew that. I thought they already figured that out. Or no, he went to go get his physical like a week or so ago. Or maybe a month ago at this point, but now he's finally accepted, and he was only 17, it said. I think, if I remember right. But there was an article we read last time. Okay. Wow, we're already on the 20th. Okay, I felt like we were at the beginning of December, and then all of a sudden now we're getting towards the end. Okay. Temperature 20 above. Can you guys hear the keyboard now? I'm very curious. I am going to do a little experiment this AM, but does that say but predicts cold? Oh, she's calling Ian. Grandma, if you want to, Ian can put you on speakerphone and you can say hi to all the people. That would be funny. Almost at the end, because too much typing and not enough chit-chat. Oh, okay, you want to talk more? Okay, temperature 20 above this AM, but predicts cold. Nothing unusual today. Oh, are you talking about what color we're going to paint the basement? Because it's a horrendous melon color. Sorry, but can you put a dot between A and M? Yes, I can. I'm very inconsistent with that. Oh, really? Nothing unusual today? Is that what it is? Where does it say that? Did I miss it? Oh, I literally wrote it. Wow, that's bad. I'm so distracted. I'm like trying to listen to Ian on the phone. I wrote it and I didn't even know. Oh, he's talking about renovations. Okay, temperature. 4 below. Seems not so clicky as before. Oh, really? Okay, hold on. Gain up. Let me know if it's still not so clicky. What was Todd's death date? It was the... Oh, thank you, Rachel. Yep, September 28th. Thanks. Temperature 4 below this AM. still and sun shone bright during the day. 9 below at bedtime. Is it more clicky? Oh, good. Okay, should I turn it up more? But you're gonna hear more of the like construction work. But I can leave it like that for next time. Now we have to see if people come and stay just because of the clicking keyboard. Then I'll know that it's just the keyboard and it's not me. Okay, December 22nd. Edna took Mrs. Kroll to town this AM. I also wish TikTok had more categories for lives because it requires me when I start my live on my computer, it says I have to like choose a category. And there's not really any good ones that fit with what we're doing. There's like gaming, education, chat and interview. I always put chat and interview because I don't know what else to put. That was probably loud on the mic because they're like banging stuff upstairs. But let me know if it's too loud. I'll turn it down. And I feel like if there was like a better category, we would reach more people too. But oh well. Edna took Mrs. Kroll to town this AM. And while there, she went to inquire about getting the pump motor fixed. And anyone who's kind of come in halfway or missed the beginning, I have a presentation at Rock Hall next Thursday at 7 p.m. So there won't be like a regular diary reading, like a typing session, but the presentation will be live streamed. So that would be like kind of like, I don't know, I'm reading things and talking at the same time. So anyways, there won't be a regular diary reading, but there will be the presentation that will be live streamed, and there is a link to register for that on my page if you're interested. And it'll be about the 1917 diary, but it's still like it's the same kind of vibe. So even if you haven't kept caught up with that, it's worth it, I think, to watch. It feels educational. We're learning history. I agree, but I don't want to put educational and then I don't know. I know. It doesn't really fully fit into any of the categories. There's the air compressor. Can you hear it? Yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to live stream the presentation. I was going to do it on a different platform, but I decided I'm just more well-versed with TikTok right now. I know, like, I'll be able to get it started, and you guys will get notified if you register. It's the only live you watch. That makes me happy. I don't really watch any lives either. Sometimes I'll get scrolling through, and that's why I was like, oh, ASMR, and I was doing this, because that's what people do on ASMR. Okay. So, while there, she went to inquire about getting the pump motor fixed. Nellie came out after supper and stayed all night. Okay. Temp 8 above this morning. Sun came out and shone real bright all day. Edna took Mrs. Kroll. I wonder why she's taking Mrs. Kroll everywhere. Probably because I wonder if this is Mrs. Kroll, Mr. Kroll's wife or mother. But probably wife. Maybe she's driving her around to CR this evening as he wanted to attend a raffle. Let me reread this. Edna took Mrs. That says Mrs., right? Not Mr. Kroll to CR this evening as he wanted to attend a raffle. You think it says she? I don't see an S. Maybe Mr. Crawl wanted to attend a raffle, so Mrs. Crawl had to go to CR. I don't know. Maybe she just meant she, probably. I'm just going to do that. You registered and you put it in your calendar because you always miss the first hour. Oh, well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you do both of those things to make sure you're here, because I hate when people come in late and they're like upset about it. I mean, people can come in late, whatever, if that's like what you want to do, but I hate when people are like, oh no, I missed it, and it makes me feel bad. It's usually around the same time. Next week, it'll be a little later. It'll be at 7 p.m. because that's when the event starts. All right. You misspell words in your journal and think of the future diary detectives trying to decipher me. Yeah, sometimes I look at my... Oh, I typed CR twice. Thanks. I can only see like half my screen at a time, so it was hiding. Sometimes I look at my handwriting in my little diary that I keep, and I'm like, okay, no one's going to be able to read that. Oh, you can sleep in. Do you get up early for these? Sorry. I wish there was a time that worked for everybody. We planned to go out. I'm also going to record it, too, so it'll be uploaded to my YouTube. You don't have to be here live if you don't want to. I won't be able to really, like, interact as much. All right, we planned to go out to cemetery and deliver some Xmas gifts. But when Edna went out to get the car, she had a flat tire. Nellie took tire to CR to get it fixed, and she came out in the afternoon and took us out to the cemetery. Long run-on sentence. And we called on Helen a few minutes. There's Nellie taking care of everybody. Yeah, Edna's writing is very pretty. You work the night shift and set an alarm an hour after you get home. I think you may have told us that before. Ugh. Thank you for being here. But never feel like you have to be, because I will record it. I know, Edna has a lot of car troubles. She does. A lot of car troubles and a lot of lawnmower troubles. All right, Christmas Day, a cold day. We were at home for dinner. It's 3 a.m. and you have work tomorrow? Oh, there's only a few days left. There's only a few days. I know, I get FOMO too. I feel you. We were at home for dinner. In the afternoon, we drove in to CR and went down to the depot to see Lloyd as he was on his way to Omaha. Francis, David, McGee's, Dawn, and Betty. Oops. I don't know who Dawn is right off the bat, but probably somebody in the family tree. The McGees are Francis's family. I guess I'll put... Oh, no. There's no apostrophe there, so I'll leave it. McGee's, Dawn, and Betty there. Oh, I mean, I'm correcting the two, though. She wrote T-O, but it's T-O-O. After the train left, he took Francis and David out home as Francis wanted to see their tree and get our gifts. Ma went in and stayed at Blanche's. So when they're talking about Ma, when Edna is talking about Ma, she's talking about her mother. And I have a picture of her. Right here. So this is a picture of her, obviously, before then. She was much older during the diary year, but that is Ma. All right, a few more days of December, and then we're wrapping up the 1944 diary. I can't believe it. So my plan, next week we'll have the little break because it will be all about Anglesey. And then after that, we'll start the 1947 diary, which is a few years after this one, so it'll be an interesting shift. Before all of these diaries go to Jim, which they will. Jim is Todd's great-grandson, who we've finally gotten into contact with. He will have these at the very end when we're done with them. But before that happens, I'm going to scan them all. I'm going to make my own copies so that if we ever find more or want to go back, we'll be able to. Hopefully we would someday find more, but I forgot Us by Frances. Okay, hold on, let me find it. As Frances wanted us. Thank you. Oh, Frances wanted us to see their tree and get our gifts. That makes sense. Okay. December 26th. 18 below this AM. Coldest morning of the winter. Just keeps getting colder. I feel like she said coldest morning or coldest day so many times. I should ask him to do a live. Yeah. He doesn't have a TikTok, so I don't know how I would get him on here. I've also never done the multi-guest thing. If anything, I'm going to ask him if we can record the Zoom meeting or the Google Meet. Okay. Coldest morning this winter. Nellie was going to take our hard water pump motor in, but could not get her car started. Jeez. First a flat tire, now she can't get it started. And John Murphy could not get his car started to come up to take the motor off. Jeez, no one can start their cars. Okay. Edna got her car started. Okay. So Nellie took her car. Oh my gosh, so many. Her car, their car. Oh, Valentina, that's okay. I have everything it's recording. TikTok records it, but that's all right. You must have been doing something fun. It's too cold for the cars. The cars will not start. But finally, Edna got hers started. So Nellie took her car and got John, and then took the motor to CR. Returned about 4:30. Motor repaired. Jeez, that entire day was dedicated to getting the motor to Cedar Rapids and getting it fixed. Took all day. Wednesday, December 27th. That's actually what I feel like a lot of these house projects that we're doing. You think it's going to be a quick thing. Oh, it's so simple. We're just going to do this one thing. And then it doesn't turn into that. It's 5 other things that need to get done and nothing can get done and takes all day. Something that was supposed to take a few minutes. Quite cold yet this AM. Nellie went back to CR this morning. They do mention world events, World War events specifically, sometimes. It seems like there was so much going on in this family throughout the past couple of years that I think they're all kind of in this little bubble. But it is, every once in a while they'll mention, like, the war or someone, like their, Edna's grandson was just accepted into the Coast Guard, and they'll like, talk about things like that, but not as much as you would expect, especially during this year. Alright, Nellie went to CR this morning. It snowed. Yeah, the election was mentioned. D-Day was mentioned. Quite a little during the night. So when I was talking about the 1917 diary, in that diary she does talk about like world events much more. And they're like, she's in a city, she's in New York, so a lot of things were going on around her, like regarding the war, and it was 1917, so the US was just entering it. A lot of her family was leaving, and she even puts in that diary, she has a pamphlet that must have been sent out from the president, kind of like announcing the beginning of the war and asking people to, like, everyone to do their part, you know. So it's like a really cool piece of history in there. So that diary does get much more into depth about the war. This one, I think there's just so much going on with family life that they don't really bring it up much. And they're in a very remote place. So Thursday, December 28th. Oh, thank you. It's nice to see you. It's a small town, so it makes sense to not really talk about world events. Yeah, and they do, like, for big stuff, but it also takes time for news to get there, I think, too. Cold yet today. The sun shone bright, but was real cold. Nothing unusual today. The catchphrase, 2 below. I'd say that's pretty unusual. That's very cold. But I guess it's not unusual for them. Thanks, Marina. All right. So I've been repeating myself a lot today because people are popping in and out, but I have officially created an event, like a live event that you can sign up for next week. I have a presentation at the Rock Hall Museum, which was the summer home of another diary writer, the diary that kind of like started it all, the 1917 one. So I'm giving a presentation at that museum next Thursday. I'll be in Brooklyn all week exploring and doing like research and stuff, and obviously making videos for you guys. But if you want to watch that presentation, I will have it live, and I'll also record it. All right, rather cold. Nellie came out in the evening and took Edna, and they went to a show. Yeah, 2 more days. Irene went too. They got home around 10:30. It's so weird finishing up an entire year. Okay, I can't see what I'm typing there. Okay, Saturday, December 30th. A cold day. Edna didn't go to CR this evening, as it was the end of the month, and also the year. She worked late. As it was the end of the month and also the year. Nellie came out in the afternoon and helped fold statements. They didn't get home for supper until after 11 o'clock. Someone should make a movie about you discovering the Delaney family like Julie and Julia. That would be funny. Made it before the end of the year, yes. Hey. How'd it go?
Fine.
Did you figure out about the car? Or just
He's
never?
not sure if it ever had a title or did not, or he gave it to me or not.
Well,
I don't think it ever had a title.
well, I'm sure he would have given it to you. He's very on top of
No,
things.
I know, but I don't. Yeah, I would have kept it with the bill of sale.
There must be some kind of process for something that, I don't know. They must be able to figure it out. It'll just probably be a huge hassle. At least that's not your daily car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, we're getting like an interesting... This is the last day of the year, by the way. You came in just in time. This is an interesting change of tone. Yes, Ian was a special guest tonight, for sure. He's been hanging out with us. Okay. Whoa. So, Edna is writing, well, this is the last day of the year. Oh. And not a very nice day. It was throwing snow. But by noon, it had turned to... It had turned real cold. And was, oh my god, my foot is so itchy. Does that ever happen to you inside your shoe?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, you know what? It's the worst when you're driving. That was intense. Sorry. That was disrespectful to Todd. Okay. It had turned real cold and was freezing. Yes, when you're driving. I know, and I get all like anxious, like, oh, it's really itchy and I'm driving and it's going to get so much worse. And what if I get in an accident? Like, I have problems. It was freezing on the sidewalks and pavement. Edna and I were invited into the McGee's for dinner. Is it thawing snow, really? Yeah, it is. It was thawing some. Yeah, it's not even, it was throwing snow. It was thawing some. All right. Went into the McGee's for dinner today. Oops. Okay. Ma went to Blanche's. Oh, and on December 30th, it was 7, not 11. Okay. Ma went to Blanche's. We went up to Kit's a little while in the afternoon. Nellie came out with us. Edna and Nellie waited for the new year to come in. I went to bed. I wonder what waiting for the new year was like back then. Because I'm picturing like, oh, you watched the ball drop. But in 1945, like maybe they were listening to the radio. They didn't have a TV, it doesn't seem like. But I want to know how would I look this up? Ooh, I zoomed in really far. When was the first New York City New Year's Eve? I bet it was really a long time ago. 1904, yeah. But obviously, maybe they were like listening. Yeah. Happy New Year to the Delaney's. That is sad. Because it was the first like holiday season without Todd. And the last New Year before that, Todd couldn't stay up to see the new year in, I remember. They talked about how he went to bed because he didn't feel good. All right, well, next time we're reading a diary together, it will be the 1947 one, which takes place a few years after this one. Or is it 1940? Yeah, it's 1947. Oh yeah, you're right, Jen. Plus it's wartime, so that's interesting. Like what the new year was like for everybody. Yeah, she does seem sad. She is. It's only been a couple of months. And even though, Todd was sick for a very long time, it seems like it was sudden. Ian, will you be filming at Rock Hall? Yeah, he'll be my cameraman. He'll be doing a lot of filming. Yeah, I set up a live, on TikTok, so. Edna goes on a 2-year holiday. Bring on 1947. It's funny that you mentioned that, because Edna, the daughter, apparently was very, she went on vacation. I don't want to say it religiously, but, vacations were very special to her. I remember Todd telling me that. How do you register? So you go to my TikTok page, and then I don't know if you've ever registered for any of these lives, but I always I can show it on the screen. Let me move my keyboard. So, watch this, actually. I can make myself a little bigger. I said Todd telling me that? No, sorry, Jim. That's funny. I remember Todd telling me that. Okay, I'm nice and big now. Look. So on my TikTok page, you can see, I can't see what I'm looking. You can see it says live event today at 6 p.m. If you click on that, it will expand on the bottom and show you multiple events. So if you click on the 1917 Diary Rock Hall lecture, that's July 20th at 7 p.m. So there's already 11 people who have signed up. Awesome. That'll be great to show the director of the museum, too, because it's summer. Everything is a little bit slower. There's, less people signed up than they were hoping, but there'll be a lot of people on the live, so that's great. Yeah, and that's hilarious that I said that and didn't even realize. I remember Todd telling me that. That's when you know I've really gone insane, when I start hearing Todd telling me things. What time is a normal live? It's usually at 6. I've been doing them now, so it would be an hour later than normal. And that I can't really change because that's just what the museum has set, but it won't be as long. It'll probably end about the same time as we're ending now. It'll be probably about an hour plus maybe some questions. Plot twist, Addie is actually immortal and lived in 1944. Yeah, when Todd told me all these things. The museum it's not in Brooklyn. She grew up in Brooklyn and lived there, during the school months, but it's in Lawrence, New York, which is, I want to say probably an hour out of Brooklyn. It seems like it takes an hour to get in on the train and probably to drive, because from what I remember, we tried to go into Brooklyn for, to visit one little thing. And it was maybe a mile down the street, and it took so long to get there. So it's probably probably an hour, even though it's not that far distance-wise. I know, Jen, so I was just going to say that when Somnia, you said that plot twist, I'm immortal and lived in 1944. There's this whole thing going with the 1917 diary. People say I look like her and that I was her in another life. And there's a lot of interesting things that line up that are kind of uncanny. The number 17. The number 17 is really big in Anglesy's life. It comes up in the diary constantly. And now the number 17 has become something ever since I realized that, it's become a thing for me. And I was never like that with a lucky number or whatever, but it just comes up so much now. The number 7 and 17 and 77 and stuff like that. But yeah, you start calling me Anks. You thought Anks looked familiar? Yeah, I didn't see it at first, but I think honestly, there's resemblance, but I think the biggest thing is probably because when I make those videos, it's I show my face, and then I flash her face, and then I flash my face. So any small resemblance is going to seem more, but I don't know. A lot of people have said it, so it's definitely not nothing. It's definitely something is there. So Chelsea asks, great question. Do you have any other diaries planned after 1947? Wait, is there a 1917 diary? Is this all a ruse? Yeah, I mean, someone did tell me that it was all fake, but I'm I would be a pretty good author if this was all fake. And I would be making a lot of money doing something else. Yeah, there are a lot of diaries to choose from after this, and I think I'm going to be doing I'll let my diary detectives, my Patreon subscribers, choose which ones will be next. I think they've already chosen, but I have some diaries that I've gotten off of eBay recently, and then we also have diaries that were donated to us from someone who read that article in the newspaper about the Weatherman diaries. Someone reached out to me and donated like 5 diaries from the same person, so I think that might be our next move, but we have like a few and a couple more even than that to pick from, so I will probably put out a poll on the diary detectives. Probably not just yet, because we still have a year of the Weatherman diaries, and I wouldn't want to I want to give that the time that it needs. Yeah, okay, yeah, so Aaron says Lillian's our game as well. I mean, we could, but that's your project. You guys, a few of us actually working on it, but that would be something we'd talk about. What year are the donated diaries from? Let me check, because I have pictures of them in here. So in the Diary Detectives group, which is the Patreon group, we have a Discord. Maybe let me see if I can show it. I can show you guys kind of like what we do in there. Window capture. Discord. Okay. So this is, it's gonna, there's a lot of information on this page, but basically, let me move it on here. Too much going on? Sorry. Okay. So the regular Discord, the free version that you can just join on my link tree, this is what I use to give updates on when I'm going live. So today at noon, I said, hey guys, I'm going live. So be there, whatever. So I will put more updates about the Rock Hall thing in there too. And that's kind of how I just send the message out, and it's just basically me. But then the other rooms here that you can see, these are all the Patreon rooms. So we have a chat where we just kind of hang out and I update about my house. This is these are my cabinets that we're working on. I'm very proud of them. And then we have all different little chat rooms in here for, this is for Anglesy's diary. We have Emily's diary. We have Aaron's diary, which has become all of us have kind of chimed in on this one, and a few of us have bought new ones for it. But hold on, I need to catch up. Okay, there's a lot added now. Yes, I know you got more diaries. I know. Okay, so then hold on. What was I looking at? I was looking at this because these are the diaries that were donated to us, and do they not have the year on them? I could go find them. They're in a box right now because we moved, but yeah, this is kind of what we share on there. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, the Patreon group is definitely the place to be. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what year these are. But I think they're early 1900s, earlier than Todd's diaries. But it's also from Iowa. How do I get rid of this thing? So yeah, I don't know. If you guys have any questions about the Rock Hall thing, I can talk about that more, or we can just call it a night. There's lots of banging happening. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the Rock Hall thing, to be honest, but it'll be fine. So yeah, we can just say goodnight, I guess. We've been on here for a while today. We did a lot of chatting, which is great. Explain Rock Hall a little bit. So Rock Hall is, I started reading, I don't know if you were here, I think you were here before, Deb, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but the diary that kind of started this whole hobby for me was the 1917 one, and it belonged to a woman named Anglesy, and it was her summer home. So I can actually show, let me see, I'm not sure what this slideshow looks like, because I keep Google Slides for all of the stuff that I research because I find it easier to move things around. So I do have one for Anglesy's diary, and I can show you pictures of Rock Hall. But Rock Hall was her summer home. I just opened Gmail. Why did I do that? It was her family's summer home. It was in the family for a long time. And then before that, it actually belonged to some other families that are part of the museum now. And the museum mostly focuses on those older families from before the Hewletts. But hold on, I can't do two things at once. I'm not logged into the right. Hold on. I think I just have places. Wow, I haven't opened this document in so long. There we are. Okay. Yeah, so the museum focuses on the older families, like the previous families who owned it more. But they're doing an exhibition on Anglesea's father because he was an architect and an artist. So now that they're doing that exhibition, they asked me to do a presentation on Anglesea and her life and like her time spent at Rock Hall. So I'm going to be doing that. And I'm finding pictures. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. So this PowerPoint is just like what I use for my research. So it's not like really well presented. But this is Rock Hall. These are actually links to a couple of articles that I was reading about Rock Hall. So that's why those are there. And I kind of just like the way I use Google Slides is I just kind of like stick everything of interest into the slide so that I can click on it later. So that's like the link to Rock Hall. These are some old pictures of Rock Hall. And it's interesting because the museum, they have a book that they put out, and it's really detailed about the different architecture that was added on and taken away from the building. So now Rock Hall it doesn't have a porch here. So there were all different things that were added and taken away. And then there's photos of the interior too. So yeah. It was really, really surreal to be in the same hallway. Like I walked down this hallway. How did the home get the name Rock Hall? I think it's because it's in Far Rockaway or near Far Rockaway, New York. And, even where I grew up, the town names changed, like, over time. Things, like, split up and moved. And I'm pretty sure at one time this was Far Rockaway or East Rockaway. Or maybe just Rockaway. I don't know. And it split up. But that's definitely, like, a town, like, a regional name over there. And I think that's where it came from. I just got back. Have we figured out anything from the diary yet? Which one? I don't know which one you're talking about. We were reading through the 1944 diary and we finished. So we've just been kind of like chatting. But I don't know. If you let me know when you left, I can update you. I don't know what time you just got back. Are you talking about like you just got back during this live or you haven't been in a while? Because then I can update you even more. But, yeah, I can show, I don't have, do I? I don't think I have all the pictures. This is hold on, let me find. Oh, you left when we were on December 24th. Yeah, so it just kind of like continued through the holidays. We are getting the sense, like you can tell that Edna is not really feeling great because, it's the holidays and she just lost Todd, so she's kind of just going through the motions. It seems like there was one day where they were having a lot of trouble getting the car started. But yeah, just typical. And then on New Year's Eve, Edna and Nellie stayed up for the new year, and Edna, the mother, I always say Edna, the wife, but she went to bed. She didn't stay up. So the next diary that we'll be reading will be the 1947 one. So that'll be interesting, like, a couple years later, So glad I found this today. Thank you for sharing with us. Oh, thanks for being here. Make sure you follow so that you can follow along with us as we start the next diary, and you can catch up. And any questions you have, I love to repeat myself, so feel free to send them. So what do you use to write up the diaries? Google Slides, is it? I've never used it. So I just type the diary in a Word document, and then I do on the page here, let me find, I have a website where I keep all of this stuff. So if you are new here, this is perfect timing because I can show you where to find all of the recordings and everything. So if you go on my link tree, which is linked in my bio on TikTok, I have my website here where I put all of our live replays. I put a link to them here, to the YouTube pages, and then I also keep the transcriptions. So I do use Google Slides for this because, I don't know, I just find it easier than making the whole website, and then when I edit it, it will automatically add it in. So basically, this here, this bottom document, the 1944 one, is linked to this Google presentation, Google Slides. Google Slides is free too, that's why I like to use it. And what I really like about it is you can just copy and paste things in and move them around and link them, and it's just easier for me to be able to copy, paste, drag, drop, like put my pictures of the pages in. And I've been like really bad about keeping it up and making it look nice just because I've been so busy, but the idea is I go in after we do our lives and I copy and paste and I put all of the, I just literally go, so we left off at December, so I'll go to December 1st and I'll just copy, usually it fits like 5-ish entries on one page, and I paste it, and I usually have to just clear the formatting so it gets nice and small, and then I just continue that. And if I keep up with it, it's not like too much work. So that's what I do. And then I go through and I add pictures, and like oh God, that is a loud one. The 1943 diary, let me just talk a little bit louder over the banging, is a lot prettier. Like I did go through, and that one was more like scrapbooky. Like I did put a lot more, I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to scroll through and find like good pages, but I just made it look a little bit nicer. But we also didn't have as much information with the 1943 diary. But then as we went on, that's when we started to really like learn about the neighbors and the other family members and find more articles and information. We found Todd's doctors. So yeah, that's kind of like my process. And for Anglesy's diary, I didn't put it on Google Slides. Jesus, it's so loud. I just did the Microsoft Word document because it was just for me. And then I used Google Slides as more of like a dumping ground for information that I found during research. But maybe, if I do go through that diary again, because that diary is like my first love of this like whole hobby, So I'm not ever going to be done with that one, I don't think. I'll probably create something like this for the website, maybe, for the 1917 diary. But yeah. Oh, I didn't see all these comments. Okay. Oh, no, there weren't that many more. Okay. I wonder if they snuck in a little kiss for the new year. Maybe. Probably. Could you not find 45 or 46, or was there none made? There were, actually. So the eBay seller that I bought these from had many more diaries before and after the one that I bought. But other people got their hands on that one. Like, other people bid more. So, unfortunately, I didn't get all of them. But I keep meaning to message the eBay seller and just, put it out there that I'm doing this research and maybe he can forward my information. No, yeah, thanks, Allie. You keep reminding. You guys keep reminding me. I need to do that. I'm sure he's going to come back and say, no, why would I do that? I'm not doing that. But maybe, who knows? It can't hurt. I promise I'll do that this week. I'll put it on my list. Hi again. Are you going to say bye? We're going to log off, so. What are you drinking? Ugh. Smoothie? No. Okay. Well, I will see you guys all next week for the Rock Hall presentation. Oh, look, it's up here. I didn't even mean to do that. I have the link to register for it. It would mean a lot to me and to the museum if you registered for it. That way we can, feel like a big group of people are there. I mean, it's great to be in person, but I know that everyone is so far apart and spread out that a live is the next best thing. And I'll record it for anyone who can't be on the actual live. All right. This is the chat, Ian. So everyone's saying bye and bye to you.
Bye.
Yeah, they might want to read the
Expecting
transcript
some-
of these diaries. That's true.
To hear something. But
I know, it is weird. It's weird that you can't hear anything. That's the one thing that I had to get over with the lives. Like, it feels like you're talking to yourself, but it doesn't, because especially my group of people. Like, it's very conversational. All right, see you next week. Bye, everybody. I don't want a smoothie, but maybe I'll have some ice cream.
It's like the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. Bye, everyone.